Hi, good morning. Today I'm going to discuss the chapter like Trample the Terror Barrier. So many people in life they set up really big goals and then they don't achieve it. The main reason for their not achievement of goal is like fear. It's a wall of fear. So what that's is called like terror barrier. It's the barrier of the fear which hold you back from achieving your goals, what you want to achieve in life. Fear is the main obstacle, like which is standing in between you and your dream life. This chapter is divided into four like different lessons. The four parts are bondage, reason, terror barrier, and freedom. Like what bondage is? Bondage is like the peoples who are living their average life. They think the similar kind of thoughts, then they stay on that. That's how like the bondage is. They don't go out of the box to think of like their dream life, and then like that's why they're living their average like mediocre life. And the second one is reason, in which, as you mentioned, like the mind is consists of two different part, conscious mind and subconscious mind. In reason, like when the people they are on like for example they are on x frequency and they are thinking x type like thoughts, that's how they're feeling, and then they're living in a average mediocre life. But like sometimes due to like after listening like seminars or reading books, if some other like the thoughts related to their dream life comes into their life, or they start like thinking that like thought, then instead of the daily average like the x thoughts, they start thinking on like the y thoughts. Then their mind like the reason it, but they don't act on that like the thoughts, and then it fizzled out, and then they don't take any actions. The third one is like the terror barriers. So terror barrier is like when they are thinking of their positive or like high frequency thoughts, or the thoughts about their dream life or about their goals, what they want to achieve. Then they hit like the wall, which in everybody's life, we like whenever we want to achieve any of the big goals, we always hit like fear, and then the fear hold us like the back if we don't take any actions. But on the other side of like the fears, like suppose if you're setting up any goal and then you hit any kind of like the fear, that's good, that it means you are thinking about a goal which is out of the box, which you have not achieved in your life. And fear in that way, according to me, is a good thing to have like in achieving your goals. And some people's when they think out of the box and thinking about their dream life, and whenever they are like hit a wall, or like as Bob Proctor said, like it's called like uh, terror barrier, like what they like very persistent in their action, then they right go through like that wall by getting emotionally attached to their goals. That's how like then they come up with the like the freedom life, because like once you are gone through all the fears, and your life would be like the free, and then you're living a life of like your dream life. That's how like this like the terror barrier and the fear can be overcome by persistent taking consistent actions toward your goals. And the main problem in people's life, like why they are not achieving goals, and is ignorance. Ignorance is not a bliss, it's a misery. It's ignorance, like the people's because if they're thinking about any goal, they are ignorant. That's why due to the ignorance, that's what they come up with like like the fear, like or like the worry. Like when if they're ignorant about any things, then they start worrying about the things because they don't know like what's the cause of this. Then worry brings fear, and fear is rippling. And whenever you start getting like the fearful thoughts in your life, then the people they come up under the spell of like you can say anxiety, And anxiety, like what happened is they don't express their feelings out, they usually keep inside. So any anxiety when it's like the suppressed, it ultimately turns into a depression. And like what depression is usually anger turned inside. And when you are in depressions, then you create like disease. Like what disease mean? Your body is not at ease, and then ultimately you end up like creating like disease that turns into disintegrations. And the right opposite, as there's like according to the law for like the polarity, everything has the opposite. The opposite of how the ignorance can be overcome is by understanding. And how like the understanding is the key to freedom. How you can understand about anything like which you are fearful, the only method is by studying, by getting the knowledge about the things. When you start like the studying about the things which you are fearful, it ultimately turns into faith. Faith is a state of mind which can be induced by autosuggestion according to Napoleon Hills. And faith is mainly like can be achieved by doing daily actions, like when you are doing every day on day-to-day basis. That's how you develop a faith. And the faith leads to well-being. Well-being is when you are feeling happy, then you try to express your feelings out. That calls into expressions. And when you are at expressions, you are in a state of accelerations. Acceleration, it means at ease. Like whatever you do, you are very easygoing. And ease, it turns into creation. That's how your mind starts like creating or bringing new ideas into your life. As Bob Proctor says, like we are here to do God's work. What God's work is? God's work is to create. And when like you are not fearful, like when you're understanding about like everything, then you come in a state of like as I mentioned, like the creation. Your mind is like the free, and your mind can do anything whatever you put your mind to. Like according to Napoleon Hill, he says like whatever mind can conceive and believe, it can achieve. So in this chapter, like trample the terror barrier, understanding is the key to freedom. So start developing your understanding by like the studying about a subject, whatever you want to get about your like whichever is related to your goals. Then you live a dream life. Thank you.